Hey, y'all. It has been a wild time over here at the Grim Syndicate. A ton going on. Obviously, we are very much at the finish line of launching this project. I am at home right now, which is my home office. And as we promised transparency, you're going to hear some transparency, which is that my 2-year-old is currently not wanting to eat her strawberries. So you may hear her in the background as she pouts about whether or not she has to eat her strawberries. That's what it's like working at home. Anyhow, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it today. The big topics that we want to cover before we launch. First off, happy Minting Eve. It is Thursday, September 30th. Tomorrow is October 1st, which means that tomorrow around 7 p.m.-ish EST, we have the official minting day, which is super exciting. We are really, really thrilled to get this project out there. It has been a labor of love, but we've been able to do it with an amazing community that surrounded us, and we're just so, so grateful for what we're building here. Now, of course, I do want to remind you, we do have the community head start. We do not have a whitelist, but what this is going to mean is that about an hour, I believe, before launch time, we will be closing the Discord for new members. The current members that are in the Discord are going to get the link ahead of time before the public minting to be able to get in there and start minting their Grims. So very exciting. Tomorrow, October 1st, 7 p.m.-ish EST. Be there for that community head start. And we are really, really excited about that. Now, the big topic today that I want to cover is price. There's been a lot of discussions around it within the community, a ton of information. This is a market that moves really quickly, and we always want to be thoughtful about how we show up in this space. And we want to make sure that we're listening to the community on a lot of these topics. And the best part about it was the way that people showed up to this discussion. You know, I've been in a lot of Discords where I've just kind of seen how people talk about these things, and there's, the discussion of FUD or whatever, and people freaking out about these things. But the one thing I want to say before we get into this is that everybody who showed up to the conversation, I believe, showed up in a way that was really respectful, was really thoughtful. I know a lot of people have brought up price because they want to see the success of this project, and that means the world to us who are building this project. Knowing that everybody in the community is rallying and wants to see that and is giving information about what they've seen, what happens with other projects when they're launching. That has been a tremendous amount of help. Every day we learn new things. Every day we're looking at other projects. We're looking at other minting processes, trying to figure out how to do this right, how to be right by the community, balancing that affordability as well as making sure that we have enough to be able to continue with other parts of that journey. And so I just want to thank you for engaging in these topics and doing it in a way that is so respectful and so kind and so thoughtful with your fellow peers who are within the community. We do believe that creators should be able to set their own prices for what they believe is fair and reasonable. I do want to say that right up front. I think that is something that if you are a creator, you have the right to do that. And working in design for a long time, I am able to do that. When I want to work with a client, I'm setting that price. I'm trying to figure out what works, what makes sense for me and how I want to price those projects. But we also recognize that when it comes to the art world, there is a barrier for entry that does happen because cost is prohibitive. And in these experiences and in these communities, a lot of times that is one of the biggest factors that makes it really hard. And so balancing the idea of wanting a community to be accessible to a lot of people while still wanting to make sure that we're valuing the art in the way that makes sense, it's very hard to figure out that balance. But what we do know is that this is a little bit different than just a traditional fine art project. This project to us is more than just art. You're not just buying a JPEG that you walk away with. We've talked about a lot of other facets of this project. There's the community side, which I know we've invested very heavily into, and I want to continue investing there. And I believe that we have built, while maybe it is smaller than some of the communities that you all have been a part of in other Discords, I think it is a powerful, kind, respectful, inclusive community. And I want to make sure it continues to grow as such. We've talked about not only is this not just a JPEG, there's a long-term vision about what we're building, about why we're building it, about what it's going to look like to continue to invest, not just in the community, but in the project at large to get more people involved. And that's going to be really big. And then also our resource accountability. What do we do with the money that we make here? What happens with the community wallet? How can we make sure that the right people have a voice into what it looks like to be generous with these funds? Whether it's externally in supporting other charities and nonprofits, or whether it's us grants within the community to other projects that are launching, creating a network of people that are able to cheer one another on, sometimes from the sidelines, and sometimes getting directly involved. And we want to hold true to that vision across the board. We had announced our minting price as 2 Sol. The world moves quickly. This is about 2 weeks ago. Nothing really stays the same for very long if you've been in that crypto space for a while. So we do want to talk today about changing that price to reflect some of the current market, some of the things that we've observed. So we will now be minting Grims at 1.5 Sol. And that is a price that we feel very confident. We've been able to hear the discussions about what's happening here. We've been able to listen to people as they have discussed, talking about how to balance accessibility, looking at other projects that have launched, taking in that information, and always trying to make sure that we are listening to these discussions, not just saying performatively that we're listening. Oh, okay, I hear. Yeah, you don't like the 2 Sol. And to be fair, like, we've had so many encouraging conversations with people that have said 2 Sol's fine. It's fair. Let's keep it there. And we do think, absolutely, I love that. I love the people that defend that price. And I agree. I think in terms of just buying the JPEG or just buying the piece of art, I feel very confident about that. But as we discussed before, this is much bigger than just that. And we absolutely want to see the success and the growth of this community as we move forward. We believe this price will still enable us to move forward with our roadmap V1, which if you haven't seen it yet, please go check the announcements channel. Just a couple big items from that we're really excited about. This will still enable us, we believe, to do that Grim Syndicate card game that we talked about. This will also enable us to still do Grim Syndicate Lurkers of the Abyss, which is our airdrop for those who are holders of some Grims that's going to be correlated to that amount in your wallet. We are so excited about this piece of the journey because it is still built in the universe. It is the next narrative piece, and there's an entire component of this saga that we're really excited about introducing with Lurkers of the Abyss. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I think just the stuff that's going to come out of it, I'm really thrilled to keep working in this universe. We do want to make a statement here, which is that we firmly believe that art should not be a race to the bottom. I don't think that everybody should just cut their prices to get down until everything is free all the time. Of course, we believe that there is value here. And of course, we believe that all art should be valued. And I think people should feel free to defend the price that they want to set it at. But I know for us as a team, as we discuss these things, we again came back to that point. This project is more than just art. It's about growing this community. It's about making sure we can always offer that transparency about what it looks like to be able to build something together, a space that is inclusive, that invites more people in. And we recognize that right now we might be a small community, but we are a small, mighty community of kind, generous people. And I would love to see us get the visibility to have other people find out about this as well. We want to make sure we always balance valuation with making sure that we appropriately weigh accessibility and inclusion, whether it's just into the community or whether it's to buying into something like this. And so we do believe that with setting a lower price point, we are going to help with that. We're going to help more people be able to hop into this project and to feel like they can be a part, who are now able to afford it a little bit better. For us, it is more important for us to get the price right than it is to be right the first time. And this is absolutely something that I will say is important for price, but it's important for all things. As a community, we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to change and evolve, and we're going to listen to people about what this looks like. And I just want to thank you ahead of time for sharing, those of you who came to the table, who had something you wanted to share. And sometimes it's a hard thing to do. Sometimes bringing up price is difficult for some people. And these are difficult conversations. And we recognize that you still showed up to do these things. And we want to continue to encourage that and continue in leadership to listen to the concerns of people, to continue to build a community that is that same level of transparency and making sure that you feel an ownership in this project. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thanks for being a part of it. We're a day out. It is really exciting. Anyhow, really excited about all of it. 1.5 Sol is the new price. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to have a great week. We got a real bright future. Thanks, y'all.